All right, guys, check it out. This is the Velotric Summit 1. This is an entry-level emtb. This bike is only $1,800. Now, I did a full video with a full review that goes totally into the specs on this bike. If you want to see that, well, you can see it right here. But if this is the first time you're seeing this bike, I'll give you a couple of the specs so that you know what's going on. This bike has 27.5-inch wheels with 2.6-inch tires on them. The battery is 705 watts with 14 amp hours. We have a 750 watt hour motor that has 1300 peak power to it and 90 Newton meters of torque. We have 120 millimeters of travel here on this front shock. This bike can move from a class 1 to a class 3 e-bike. You can go all the way up to 28 miles an hour, all the way down to 12 miles an hour. And my job right now is to put it out on this mountain bike trail to see how it does. Now, I am here at Soldiers Memorial Mountain Bike Park, where I'm gonna go ahead and run this thing on a trail that I'm very familiar with to see how it does. All right, guys, take a look at this. This right here is a nail that I picked up from my from the initial review in Chicago, but I'm going to leave it in there because this bike has flat out in the tires, and we're definitely going to be okay during this review. At the end, if I remember, I'll pull it out, we'll spin the wheel, and it'll freeze up. But I just want to show you guys that yes, this is how good flat out works. And right here is where the kickstand goes. I went ahead and took it off for this test because when I reviewed it in the city, it made some noise, and that would drive me nuts. We are here at the beginning. I feel like I'm good enough on bikes that we're going to go ahead and start with the advanced trail and really just enjoy the day and see how good this bike does and see how well flat out does with that nail that's in the tire. All right, let's go. I can't imagine us needing much more than pedal assist 2 in here. We do have it in boost mode. We're going to go ahead and push that into trail. Start off like right out of the gate, get a little bit of air on this thing. There are so many different trails you could take through here. You just don't know. Let's see how these handlebars feel with their width. Yep, that's good. All right, it does feel like there is a little bit of lag. Maybe that's because I'm in pedal assist 2. Here we go. Let's climb up this, see how that feels. Oh, yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Oh, I can tell I'm going to be using throttle a lot. You know, it's one of those things like when you have it, you just want to use it. You know, you can remove the throttle and then turn the bike down to 20 miles an hour. That makes it a class 1. Since I'm riding responsible, we're just gonna leave it because I forgot to change it all before we took off. So we're just testing it the way that it is. This trail is actually kind of busy today for it to be a Monday at about like 11 a.m. in the morning. You know, for the kind of riding that I do, it's kind of the same riding an intro person who's just interested into mountain biking would do as well. I mean, yeah, I'm hitting some advanced stuff. So this is the kind of bike that if you were looking to get out onto single track trails, right, you can figure it right. Well, yeah, you absolutely can. But I'm curious to see how this bike's gonna do on this big hill that's coming up. And this is where I've tested multiple e-bikes on before. We are at what I consider, this is gonna be the hardest climb out of this whole trail. We're gonna try it in throttle first, see how it's doing. We got it in boost mode, pedal assist 5. We're just gonna see throttle only, see how it does, and then we'll try it again using the pedal assist. So let's go and let's see how she does. Come on, come on. Oh, that's 90 Newton meters of torque. We need a little speed. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Let's go. There we go. Whew. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right, to be honest, I don't know any bikes that I've reviewed that's made it up that throttle only. So let's go ahead. We'll try it again. We're going to pedal it, and I'm sure she'll do just fine. Pedal assist 5, boost. Doing pedal assist only. All right, let's ride. Oh yeah, see, huge difference. Huge difference. We shouldn't have any issue at all making up this part, except for this Rudy part where I always get caught, which is right here. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, see, I mean, really, that's what you should be doing with these bikes anyways, is pedaling and not using throttle. Yes, sir, we're good. All right, now that we've done that test, we're gonna try to do the rest of this review without using the throttle at all. Ooh. I say that and then automatically hit the throttle so I can have this bike help me up here. Okay, here we go. We'll be checking things like, we're gonna see if we get any pedal strikes or anything like that during the trail. And I'll be able to tell whether it was my fault or if I feel like the pedal's too low. Advanced option, always. This is how we get better. Plus, I've been on this advanced trail before. There's only one area that I haven't hit, or maybe two, that I get a little spooked about. Ooh, that's new. Huh? Oh, that's new. Or maybe it's not new. Maybe I just don't remember it. It's been a few months since I've been out here. Some mountain biker dudes are like, oh, come on, just do it. And I get that, but I'm out here alone. And if I get really injured, well, that's gonna suck. Ugh. So we're gonna go around. Oh, but I rode that. Okay, so I feel like they have made the advanced more advanced. Yeah, look at all these drops. Man, these guys have been doing a lot of work out here. Oh gosh. I should not be on this trail. Oh, big torque right here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Let's just go hit the main trail. If you've been on my channel any amount of time, you know I have a Giant Trance X E+3. That is a $5,000-$6,000 full suspension emtb. And then I also have a hardtail Event Rambless. It's a mid-drive. And then we have this. So I've been putting a lot of mountain bike trails in, but this is my first time on this bike. She's 62 pounds, so she's feeling a little bit heavy compared to some of the other ones I have. See, that stuff's fun right there. Woo. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this bike does have a torque sensor, making it to where you have better control. Just on those super steep climbs, I feel like a smaller gear would be a little bit better. We did start off with a full battery as well, so we'll see where we're at with that. At the end of this trail's like only like 4.5 miles long, but it is tried and true for the reviews where I first put this on a trail to see how it does. That's why I like this trail. If something does go wrong, well, I'm not super far from the car. Ooh, what is this? Wait, when did that come into play? Oh. Yeah. Just take a different route. Yeah, being on this side makes me feel like I'm not any good at all. And look, guys, to be honest, I'm not, right? I'm just a guy who found interest into these, and wanted to start riding out into areas such as this. And as I mentioned, that's what bikes like this are for. So you can actually go out and do trails like this and be totally fine. Ooh, climb, climb, climb. Oh, these trees, I always have a hard time making it through it. Let's go. Oh, that's probably the best I've made it through there. This though, that, oh, I'm glad they made a little turn off. I'm not ready for that still. Now a bike like this can be upgraded. You can put a dropper seat post and things like that on it, change out the forks, change out the gearing actually. So if you wanted that extra gear, which I feel this should have, well, you can upgrade this bike to get that on there. And when you consider the cost, you know, of only $17.99 minus $60 with my discount code, then then you can do all kinds of customization with this. All right, here we go. Let's go. Crank, crank, crank. Oh, no, we'll go for the smaller guy. Wait, what is this? These guys are insane. They're just adding tons of new stuff all the time, which I like it. See, some about these freak me out. I'm going to a class, a 2-day class, through like Ninja mountain bike training that's going to show me how to handle these. Like if I had somebody here and they showed me how to deal with them, I'd probably be fine. It is totally okay to walk your bike down certain features. And I'm only saying that because half of this advanced track I feel like I'm walking. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay. I'll get a deer. Hey, buddy. Where's those deer at? Last thing I want to do is hit one. Instead, I hit a stump with my foot, looking for the deer. Now, in the initial review, I talk about these 2.6-inch tires on here. And, you know, they're wide. And I wasn't sure that riding them in the city, you know, they feel kind of big. They feel a little bit heavy. And they do here on the trail as well, but not as heavy as, you know, like I was thinking. So, you know, if you plan on mostly riding trails like this, well, yeah, you're going to want that extra little inch or whatever. But I think if you were doing like a lot of city riding and then just like a trail on the weekend, I feel like you could make these tires smaller and it would work out just as well, if not better. I think it might work out a little bit better. The handlebars feel good going through these trails. It's 760 millimeters wide. I think that's like the perfect handlebar width. So I just think if you have like multiple bikes, it's probably good to have them all at the same handlebar width. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. What do I know? These tires are gripping really well though. I mean, it definitely does add comfort to this bike when it comes to these trails. I mean, you could totally leave them on there. Oh, there's our deer friends again. Come on, let me go with you guys. All right, here we go. This is the fun side. This one I know a lot more better. It has a better flow. And if I was to compare this to like bigger bikes that I've been on this trail with, like, you know, the 26 by 4-inch tires, well, this one is a lot more controllable. Woohoo! There we go. See, that felt really good. These grips feel pretty good. On some grips that come from the bikes, like my hands start to fall asleep on. And then I have to get like a different, wider grip. But so far, my hand doesn't feel like it needs to fall asleep. think if I was going to do anything to this bike, and if I was just using it for mountain biking, I would definitely put a dropper seat post on it. I think this bike has the most Newton meters of torque that I have put on this trail that has a rear hub motor. Yeah, I think if I was going to be using this trail or just mountain biking all the time with this bike, I would take the throttle off. It doesn't need it. I mean, as we saw that this bike does better on these trails with pedal assist as opposed to the throttle. Hey, how's it going? Oh, is that a hardtail? Yeah. The other two bikes that I have are mid-drives that are mountain bikes. And you can definitely tell a difference, obviously, between how they perform, but you also notice a difference in your wallet. Oh yeah! Oh, I cleared that. Yeah. Oh, I should have. I should have hit those up there. Whew, whew. I'm starting to get used to this bike now. Whoa! Woo! And if you're wondering, yes, that nail is not providing any kind of issues at all. Flat out has this covered. All right, I'm feeling sometimes it doesn't give you constant power. Like you feel it kind of kick down a little bit while you're pedaling. So it's not like instant on demand, but it's close. This is my jump that I like to hit. Yeah, we're using throttle with this one. Oh, she went up. Nice. Oh, that was smooth too. We can do that one again. That's a nice little jump. Oh, do it again. Ooh, yeah. All right, here we go again. Oh, I feel like I got really good air with that one. I could just keep lapping around and doing jumps all day with this bike. I can't believe it. Of course, I wasn't filming for that, but let me show you. When I did that last jump, forks went down and down they stayed. I hit this. So we bottomed out, and when we did, it just kind of, now the shocks are just down in the down position. I'm gonna have to try to, you can't, we'll see about the preload or whatever. But I think, yeah, the preload's not even moving. It is not happy at all. Let me see, how am I gonna finish the rest of this thing? Will it lock out? Oh no. Okay, we have it locked. We have the forks locked out. It did not survive that last jump. Of course, I didn't have the GoPro on, so at least I didn't wipe out. We'll see if any of the other cameras caught it. But I'd probably done about, this was like my fourth jump with this bike. It was my highest jump yet. It felt great, but these shocks, that front fork just died. Okay, now we know. I ended up sending Velotric the video where I showed them where I blew out the forks, and their response was, this bike is more of a trekking bike for normal mountain biking stuff. If you wanted to do something like that, you'd have to switch out the forks. In fact, it even says on the forks not to be jumping with them. Lo and behold, they're right. It does say that after I took a look. I didn't know that at the time, but at least we know what it can handle. So let's go back to the video. I think when we started this, I said that today was kind of a rough day. And well, yeah, this is the first time I've really broken a bike doing jumps with it. I'm just glad that it didn't break me, right? Like the tire went all the way down. Now, as you can see, we're still out here riding the trails. I'm still going to finish this trail. We're just doing it with, well, as a stiffy. We don't have any front or back suspension at this point. My only concern is hoping that the lock holds on these forks and I don't end up just, you know, nose diving into the ground with it. I say that and then I just pop the wheel up. Now, if you're wondering what truly happened, is when I landed, the front fork bottomed out all the way to the point to where the tire hit the top of the fork brace and, I mean, just gave out. Now, to be fair, I probably landed a little front heavy for that to happen. You know, I'm sure if I looked at one of those little warning signs that are on these forks, they'd probably say, don't do jumps, which it says it on all of those that I've been doing jumps with. You know, this also, I mean, this kind of makes another good test. If you think about it, like any of these trails that I've done, I've always had like, you know, front suspension. Well, what's it like going through one of these trails without it? I'm gonna tell you at the end of this video. Ooh, man, that sucks whenever you don't feel that power. It just cuts out for like a quick second. And when it does, ooh, it seems to do it at the most inconvenient moments. All right, do not go out on me coming up this. Huh, you know, that might be because if I do like a little brake and pedaling, you know, obviously it cuts out on the assist. So it could just be me. I could be the problem. Which, if you talk to any of my past wives, they will concur. Ooh, but I tell you what, you're gonna work your forearms when you don't have that front suspension working. Oh gosh. Ooh, here we go. Do not cut out on me on this. This will tell me whether it's me or the bike. It's probably me. Oh, normally this is a pretty good drop, and I'm so I'm worried about that front fork now. Let's go. Because right now I'm about the farthest point away from the car. Probably a good mile or so from it. Ooh, okay, good. I'm glad that held up. Now, to be fair, I did jump this bike more times than I have any of the other bikes that I reviewed, just because it was so fun. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm sure that if I did as many times with those bikes as I did with this one, well, those forks would have gave out as well. You know, I think that's why, you know, Velotric gives me these bikes to test for you guys, to show you what you can or what you should and should not do with them, right? Like the one I threw in the pond. You shouldn't do that with it. It'll survive it, but you shouldn't do that with it. And then like with this jump, probably shouldn't do that. And now we know that it won't survive that. You know, it really isn't even that bad riding it through areas like this. I mean, it's still very capable, which I am super happy about. I'm super happy that I did not break it to the point to where I had to walk this bike back. I mean, I don't consider it a win, but I don't consider it a 100% loss either. We almost made it. All right, guys, we made it back. This didn't go the way that I had wanted to with this bike, but you know, everything has been kind of off today, and that just kind of finished it off. But you know what? I didn't get hurt. The bike is still rideable, you know, as long as we have these forks locked out. But besides that, the grips were great. The seat was great. Pedals, I mean, like everything seemed to be working. We did have what I thought was that fluctuation with the power, but I think that was because I would hesitate with some of the pedaling and with it being a torque sensor. So once I had tested it out a little bit later, that didn't seem to be an issue as well. Before I closed out the video, I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on with my Summit 1. Velotric, they said, you know what, we really want to check out this front fork and see what the failure point was with it. I mean, even though they know that I was doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing with it, pushing these forks past their limit, they still want to check it out. So because of that, they went ahead and sent me another Summit 1, so that way I can send them back the bike intact the way it is so they can check it out. That right there shows Velotric's dedication to quality products. All right, back to the video. Now, if you are interested in the Velotric Summit 1, well, go ahead, click my link in the description down below. Also, if you are interested in the bike rack that I use to get this bike here, it's by Young Electric, it's called the Soul. I'll put that link in the description down below as well. I want to come back and talk about this nail that I have right here in this front tire, right? It was fine during the whole ride. Right here it is. I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to spin the tire, and you're going to see that it's going to seal it up. And this is what saves me all the time. Ready? Here we go. We are sealed. That's all it takes. Right here is the nail that I pulled it out. You saw it start to activate, and this is exactly why I use flat out all the time. You can see right there, it's not bubbling, no air is coming out, and I do not even have to change out the inner tube on this bike. I love flat out. Well, guys, that does it for the Summit mountain bike test. And I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you next time, enjoy the ride.